Looking for a simple solution for your coaching business? It can be a lot of work managing multiple clients and making sure that they have all the information needed, such as their coaching schedule, contracts, payments, tasks and homework, resources, and more. In this video, we'll be giving you a tour and tutorial of our ultimate client portal and coaching workspace. It includes a workspace dashboard for the coach, as well as a client portal that you can easily duplicate for each individual client. If you find this useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's first start with a brief overview of this template. On the top, you'll notice a task inbox where you can keep track of all of your tasks relating to your coaching business, such as creating a client portal, and you can see them by no due date, by date, or complete. Underneath there, you have your calendar, and in the calendar, you can keep track of your personal, admin, and coaching schedules. On the left-hand side, you'll see a navigation bar where you'll have your client portals, clients and contacts, calendar, tasks, finances, coaching notes, and resources. And here we have all of the databases stored, which we recommend you not to edit or this template will stop working. Let's first start by going to each of the different pages of this workspace before we dive into the client portals. So the first page we have here is clients and contacts. So with clients and contacts, you can keep track of your clients' discovery call, onboarded, in progress, and coaching complete so that you can really track the flow of your client's experience. And underneath there, you have your business contacts, such as your financial advisor and anyone who is helping you with your business. So let's try out adding a new client. So to add a new client, you can simply click plus new client, and let's just call this client sample client. And you can start them with a discovery call, and you can track the initial contact you had with them. And once you have the client portal, you can connect it to the client portal as well, a sample email, a phone number, their address. And finally, if you need to archive a client, you can do that by clicking this button. And inside of each client, we have coaching notes. So for example, if you are about to have a discovery call and you have some notes you'd like to reference or take during that discovery call, you might want to consider adding the notes in here. And that can easily be done by clicking plus new. And you can open it up so that this one would be prep notes, note for discovery call. And it basically gives you all of these informations automatically. You can type your notes in here. So now we have our sample client here in the discovery call, and as they move forward, let's say they onboard, you can put them in onboarded, and once they're in progress, you can put them in progress, and once they're complete, you can put them in the complete section. So in this way, it's just very easy to keep track of your clients. And if you feel that it's been a long time and you want to archive them, you can click the archive button and they're going to move here. Now let's go over the business contacts. So when you open up a business contact, you can add their photo so you can easily remember them. And they have email, phone number, address, link in case they have some kind of link for their business, some description if you need, like when they're available, as well as some notes. So let's say we want to add a business contact. You can simply click add business contact and we can put business contact. And let's say that this person is a business coach. You can also add your own type by typing in here, for example, like this to create a new tag. So let's say that this is a business coach. You can add their email, phone number, address, and so on, as well as the notes. Next, let's go to the calendar. So the calendar is not meant to be synced with your client portal, but rather it's meant to be used alongside of it. So let's say that you need to meet with your business coach on Saturday. You can put new schedule with business coach, and you already have your notes here. You can tag them by your business contacts or your clients. So if you have a client meeting, you can put them here. Or if it's with your business coach, let's say it's with this business contact, you can put that here, a tag. So if this is a business coach meeting, you can add a new tag for that, as well as the meeting link. So like this. So once you click out, you'll see that we have the business contact, the type of the meeting, and the Zoom link. And if you need to reference and remember who was this business contact, you can easily open them up and see the information about them. Next, let's go over tasks. So this is a really simple task list system where you can just click new task and add, for example, schedule meeting with business coach. And you could put a due date if you'd like and a tag. So if this is a scheduling thing, then if you click out, you'll notice that if you don't put a due date, it's going to show up in this area here. But let's say that you're going to do it today, then you can tag it like this and then you see it by date. So you can see past due here, the last 7 days. And today we have this one that you should finish. So once you're done, you can click this and it disappears and goes to complete. Next, let's take a look at our finance section. So we basically built a very simple finance section here. So this is not going to replace your traditional accounting software. This is just for very small businesses, or if you just simply want to have a way to track your basic expenses and income, then this could work for you. So the first section is an invoice generator. And this is very easy to use. If you just click plus new invoice, you're able to, for example, type a title, one-to-one coaching, and you can add your invoice number, the date it was issued, and your customer name. And then you can add your items here, the total, if there's any tax, and then the total amount due. And if you need to add more rows here, you can simply click the 6 dots and insert below like this to increase the amount of rows. And finally, your bank details go here. And once you have that, you can simply click the 3 dots on the top and you can export it and choose PDF if you want the scale percent to be 100, what type of size you want, and click export. And then you can actually just send it over to your client. And if you want to edit this basic template inside of here, we would recommend you to do so by going to the blue button here, go to this 3 dots here, click edit, and you can easily edit it. So if you always know your bank information, you can easily put all of your bank info here already set up for you, as well as anything else that stays the same no matter who your client is. So once you go back, it's going to get saved. And you can also tag it by the client. So let's say that this was for sample client, when you issued, when it's due, and then you can upload the invoice file after you've exported it, as well as the total price. And here you can also see the status. So once it's issued, when it's pending, and when it's paid. So next, let's take a look at the finance section. So here you can add both your income and your expense. So let's say that you have income from the one-to-one coaching, and you can put the amount, the date, and then you can put a receipt as well as tags. So this tags allows you to have more flexibility with this. So let's say it's a payment method or which bank account it's going to. You could all note that down as a tag. For example, if you did account 1, like this. And if you want to add a new expense, you can simply click plus new expense. Let's say that you have some kind of subscription service like Epidemic Sound, and the amount would be something like $15. The date, let's say, is here. And make sure to always add a minus sign for your expenses so that it calculates correctly. So this is really important. Make sure to put minus sign, and you have receipt and tax. So now if we go by month, you can see your expense and income total here, the sum per month. And then if you go to this month, you can see how much was spent on outside services and how much income you actually made. Then you can also see by year and also this year. So this is just a very basic tracker that you can use if you need something simple. So now let's go to the coaching notes. So here you can see that the note that we made for the sample client has already appeared here, and it's under needs review. So when you haven't reviewed your note, it's gonna just populate in this database. And if you click here to that you reviewed it, it's gonna go to your view all. So this is a really handy way to track any notes that you haven't checked over yet and make sure that you are on top of things. Finally, here are the resources. So resources is very flexible. And basically, you can add anything you want, from important business documents to basic resources for your personal growth, your coaching business, and so on. So if we click plus new resource, You can add a new resource. Let's say that you found a really helpful article about starting your coaching business. You can do helpful article about starting coaching business. And then you can put a type. Let's say it's an article. The category would be coaching and personal growth. And you can add files and media as well as the URL to the web page, and then click out. And it's going to show up here. So this is just a handy way to keep track of all your digital resources. So now let's get into the client portal. To start using the client portal, simply go to the client portal page, and we have this here. So all you need to do is click plus new portal when you want to start using a client portal. And here, let's say that we have that sample client that we just onboarded, and we can click sample client. You can choose the start date for that client, as well as when you estimate that this coaching is going to end for them. And you can open it up. So whenever you have a new client that you create a coaching page for, you want to make sure to add their name here and edit any relevant information. And this section is going to be if you need to ask them to do things for tasks. So for example, if you need to have them check the onboarding tasks, you can add that here, finish onboarding tasks. You can add a due date. You can add whether or not this task requires feedback and if it applies to any kind of coaching schedule. So since this is a non-coaching schedule task, we can just simply do it like this, and your client can check it off when they're done with it. Then we have a start here page, which is where your client's going to start out. So here you can add your own welcome message as well as an onboarding checklist. So for example, one onboarding task could just be to get familiar with this portal, and you can even add instruction videos for them inside of here. Other tasks might be to make a first payment and signing contracts, and all of these can just be added inside here. Once you have that done, you can check the schedule and you'll see all these upcoming sessions. And we already added cover photo for you here, but you can also add your own cover photo by clicking change cover, for example, uploading your own or Unsplash. Then here you have notes for each session, a video recording of the session if you need, as well as homework and tasks relating to this session and any relevant resources relating to this as well. And this way your client can know easily what's your upcoming coaching schedule, the past coaching schedule, a month view, week view, and a view all. The next section is tasks and homework. So as you can see, the onboarding tasks has appeared here, and you can see it by incomplete, complete, and feedback. So the next section is this message board. So you can easily add messages by clicking plus new message. And let's say that this is an announcement for your client, like welcome to the portal. And the message type could be announcement. And you can easily see who created it, last edited time, and it's going to show any kind of message you have here. You can either answer them by commenting here or by typing below. And you can instruct your client to actually mention you by typing @ so that you're going to be sent a notification. The next thing is the payment section. So in the payment section, you can outline your payment policies for your coaching service, as well as accepted payment methods. And then finally, you can add all of the payment information here by clicking plus new. And for example, if this one is one-to-one coaching and it was for 1 hour, you could put quantity 1. If the price was 100 and if the tax percentage was 10%, you can add that here and it calculates everything in the total due, the due date. Your client can choose the payment method, or you can already fill this in for them, as well as a file for the invoice. This next page is the contract, so you can upload the contract to be signed here, as well as your client can then upload the signed contract here when it's ready. Here are all the resources that you might discuss during the coaching session, as well as other kinds of resources that they might need to access. You can easily just click plus new here to add the new resource, a type, for example, if it's an article, if it's related to a coaching schedule, and URL, files, and media. In this section, you can add questionnaires, for example, onboarding questionnaires, and also review and feedback at the end of your coaching session. So if we click plus new here and open one up, you can see that there's an onboarding template, a wrap-up template, and an empty template. So something like an onboarding template would look like this, and you can have them answer all of these questions so you can gain a better understanding of the goals of your client. Finally, we have an FAQ section where you can store frequently asked questions in case that your client has any questions that don't need to be solved via email or other kind of direct contact. Let's also go over what it would be like to actually use the coaching schedules. So when you click open session 1, for example, you'll notice that you can add your Zoom link, and there's this task completion, which means that let's say that you have some homework for this coaching session. So let's say that we have review resources discussed during the session, and you could add a due date and you could add feedback. So if you don't need any feedback, then you do no feedback needed. So if it's something where you need to request feedback, you can ask the client to tag it with request feedback so that you can take a look at their homework and then do feedback available. So if this is no feedback needed, it would be like this. Let's say that you want the client to come up with a list of topics that are interesting for them. Then you can put a due date. And let's say that this one, you would be giving feedback on this list of topics. So then it would be request feedback. And you can also put a type. So this is homework, but this one, let's say, is more of a task like this. So now if we open it up, you can see that we have this one and we have the other one here. So now if we open it up, you'll notice that we have these two homework and tasks. And when it's complete, it's going to show up here. If it's a feedback type, then it's going to show up here. And then if you have any resources you discussed during the meeting, let's say session resource, and you can put a type and everything here. So now you can see it's 0 out of 2 tasks. So your client can easily see how many tasks are remaining, and then they can make sure to do those tasks. Another thing we wanted to show is how to share this client portal with your client. In order to make the most use of this client portal, we would recommend that your client also uses Notion so that they can collaborate with you. We would recommend you to go to the share button and send an invite by email. Once they've been invited, you can check their access settings, and we would recommend to give access setting which is can edit for your client. They cannot share this client portal with others, but they can still edit and type inside of it. And once you have that shared, keep in mind that Notion does have a restriction on how many guests you can have inside your workspace, so you may need to upgrade to the Plus plan depending on how many clients you expect to have. If you want to be able to organize all of your clients easily, we would recommend also to go to the top right hand corner and make sure to put add to your favorites so that they end up at the top of your dashboard and you can easily check on your clients. So if we click this star button here on the top right hand corner, you can now see that it's in your favorites. So every time you need to sort of check in on your client, you can see everything here. Or if you only want to make sure that your message board is favorited, you can also go to the 3 dots here and click add to favorites. So then you have this message board on a quick link so that you can easily track your client's message board. If you want to remove it, you just simply go like this and remove from favorites. So that's basically the entire walkthrough of this client portal. And we would recommend you to edit the client portal when you first start using it so that it's already customized for your needs, and then you can simply duplicate them. So let's go ahead and check how to do that. So if we go back to the main page and you go to client portals again, you'll now notice that we have another sample client portal here. And we can actually edit your client portals by going to the blue button here and clicking this 3 dots here and edit. So anything you edit here is going to be reflected on any new client portals that you create in the future. So if you have old client portals, you need to actually update them if you'd like it to reflect this new edited version. So for example, if you wanted to change the logo here, you can do so here. You can change the cover photo, and you can change this signature and anything else in this welcome message. You can also, if you already have a set coaching schedule, you could even edit those here in advance and maybe remove the dates so that you're set up already. And then you can also change the cover photos. So the easiest way to edit this template is by opening it up in the full page. So here you can edit each of these. If you need to edit anything in the contents of these, you can also do so by using the blue button here, clicking here and edit. And then once that's done, all the new ones are going to reflect that one. If you have any tasks or homework that you know for sure is always there for every client, you can add them here. Then if you go to schedule, you can update how to book a section here. Tasks and homework, again, if you have anything that you think that a potential client would need to do by default, you can add them here. The message board, you can also add a welcome message at the beginning already. Payments, you might want to fill in the payment policy, accepted payment methods here in advance. And the contract, you'd probably want to do that for individual clients. Any resources by default you want to keep here, you can also add them here. Any questionnaires that you'd like to add, you can also already add them here. You can also edit each of these questionnaire templates. For example, we have an empty template here in case you want to edit it. So you can simply duplicate this and create your own. So then you can type all your questions, and when you do add a questionnaire, it's going to show that option here. And then finally, you can fill out your FAQ section. And once you're done with that, you can go back to your homepage, make sure everything is set up for a default client portal for your own needs and your business. And then you can go back to client portal. And every time you create a new portal, it's going to reflect that. So let's say that you want to update your new sample client with this new client portal. You can simply drag your cursor and highlight everything all the way down and click delete, and then reload the coaching portal home. And this is going to reflect the new template that you have edited for this coaching portal. And this is a little bit complicated, so if you do need extra help, we do recommend booking a session with us so that we can really help you customize it and make sure you're set up for your coaching business. Thank you so much for watching. The link to the Ultimate Coaching Workspace and Client Portal is in the description below. Feel free to let us know if you have any questions or comments, and we hope to see you all in the next video.